Cliff, I know you really enjoyed doing Would You Rather, and so you wanted to do a part 2, and here we are doing Would You Rather part 2. So the questions: would you rather visit the Garden of Eden or visit the Promised Land?
I think the Garden of Eden, probably because I'm always intrigued. What was the Garden of Eden like? Did they have any sort of support? I know, like modern days, we've got toilets and showers and bathrooms and all the conveniences, but I'm trying to imagine how they lived. And also to it's a strange answer maybe, but all the biblical characters, I would love to know what they look like. You think, what did Moses look like? Well, obviously, like Jesus as well. You'd love to know what he looked like, actually. But I'd be intrigued. And also, I mean, would I be around when things went horribly wrong in the Garden of Eden, or would I be in the good bit, where everything was going well? Um, it's a bit of an odd question, really, isn't it? Because it's not possible, but I would be really intrigued to know how they related it to each other. If it was the good bit and everything was perfect, that means I'd be all right too, and I'd be good. But it would be absolutely fascinating just to watch the interaction. I don't know if I would hear the voice of God as well, if God spoke. But yeah, I'd just be amazed to be in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. What a privilege that Adam heard God's voice in the cool of the day.
Mm.
So, Cliff, would you rather face Goliath or wander in the desert for 40 long years?
Well, I think Goliath situation was a lot quicker.
Yes.
So 40 years sounds a very long day trip to me, or night and day trip. Um, yeah, Goliath, I've always loved that story because it's a hero story, isn't it? And it's like good and evil. We know the outcome, we know what happened, we know who won, we know that David trained himself to win, which is probably a good thing for us to remember. You don't just walk out and necessarily, and God says, like, I'll give you the victory, just do what you like and I'll do it for you. I think God deliberately, well, Jesus trained, didn't he? He spent years training for his ministry, and I think those days that probably seemed to David like nothing, like, oh, I do this every day, you know I go into the fields, and I guess he practiced with his slingshot, I don't know. But yeah, that would be amazing. Again, as always, I want to know what these people look like. How, would did Goliath look scary? I guess he probably did, just the sheer fact of how big he was, and how tall was David in comparison. Um, just amazing, yeah, and yet another situation where you think I would like to, look over the garden fence and see what's going on.
Yeah, good answer there, Cliff. And would you rather see Jesus raise Lazarus from the dead or see Jesus heal a blind man?
Goodness, because these are stunning situations, aren't they? Um,
Yeah.
I think I go for Lazarus because of, again, the thought of seeing this happen. I'm not aware of many resurrections taking place, miraculous healings of the dead. Um, yeah, I would love to see that, and how, if I had the privilege of knowing what happened, watching what happened before he was raised from the dead, I guess Jesus was calm, cool, and collected. Um, it obviously, him being the Son of God, he knew uh, what was going on. He knew that he only had to go there and he would raise the dead. So I think I'd go for the raising of Lazarus.
Yeah, I think it would have been really quite something to actually have witnessed that, I have to say.
Mm.
So, I'd like to ask you, Cliff, would you rather help build Noah's Ark, or would you like to be like Adam and name the animals?
I think I'd be bored after a bit naming animals and go, I've run out of ideas, you know. I'm very intrigued by how God created creation and animals and creatures on the earth. Like, wow, why did he do them that shape? But I think building the ark would be, I mean, again, it's a bit of an unreal question in the sense that would you know what's going on? You know, would you have any insight to this situation? But I love the thought of this creation, not the creation exactly, but the building taking place and watching step by step. Even if you didn't quite know why it was happening, you'd be like, oh, what's happening next? What's that bit doing? How, you know, what's this and what's going to happen? I guess also, do I get to see the animals go into the ark? Um, that would be amazing and very confusing probably at the time, but all round, I think that would be an awesome experience. My great grandfather was a carpenter, so I think he may have wanted to see this happen as well.
Yeah, you can imagine Noah building that ark and all the work. I mean, it took such a long time to
Mm.
build. And are you quite craft minded? Are you quite skilled, like in carpentry, Cliff?
Well, I learned some skills from my dad. I guess he got it from his granddad.
Yeah,
I don't know if I said my granddad or great. It's my great granddad was a
okay.
carpenter. My granddad was a butcher. My dad was a council worker, but he did carpentry, and he did. My dad did teach me carpentry, so I built a few very basic things. I've actually still got stuff that my dad built many years ago. So yeah, I've got a bit of skill in that respect.
Yeah, it's certainly a skill, isn't it, for sure. So, would you rather have the wisdom of Solomon or the strength of Samson?
I think I have the wisdom of Solomon. It's something I've always loved. The very first books I read in the Bible, book I read in the Bible was Proverbs. So I love the wisdom in the Bible. The Bible says, isn't it, get understanding and get wisdom, or wisdom and understanding, whichever way around. But I always remember that even from school days, because before I was a Christian, I used to read Proverbs every day because of my Sunday school background. I remember picking up the Bible and taking it to my bedroom and opening it up, and because it opened at Proverbs. So I remembered the verses that had to do with wisdom. And of course, when you've got wisdom, that gives you a whole big scope in life. You know, the Bible says that if you lack wisdom, you can ask God and he'll give it to you. And I think, yeah, wisdom is very, very valuable in the Christian life.
Yeah, we certainly need wisdom, especially nowadays. Can I say thank you, Cliff, for doing part 2 of Would You Rather? And I've really enjoyed listening to your thoughtful answers today. Thank you, Cliff.
Thank you.